Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It is Friday, February 20th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
A country sitting on pins and needles as the Canadian women faced off against the United States for Olympic gold for the 7th time.
Am I nervous? Am I nervous? Of course I'm nervous.
Canada took a 1-0 lead through a shorthanded goal by Kristen O'Neill, sending the country into a frenzy. Watch parties were held across the nation's capital, bringing fans young and old together. At St. Gabriel's Elementary School in Canada, patriotic memories were made for the first time.
Wow, what a historical moment this would be for us if we could all watch it. Everybody together, cheering their country on, and it's a moment to all be together.
As you can see, there's not a lot of people in our school who play hockey, so it's really cool to get to have this day to just watch hockey as a school.
Canada looked to be on the road to gold, but a late goal by the U.S. pushed the game into overtime, where Canada would fall 2-1.
Darn, we were so close, but the Americans played better and more aggressively in that overtime period. Better team won, but darn.
A disappointing outcome for the country, but a foundational moment for these young fans.
It's really cool because it's like women's hockey and there's not much of it now.
But on a happier footnote, this silver medal is the first Olympic medal for Canadian goaltender Kaylee Osborne, who is from Ottawa. And all eyes will be on the men's team tomorrow as they face off against Finland in the semifinals. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Dylan.
Thousands of rocks are making their way down the ice at the Cali Curling Club for this year's National University and Collegiate Championships. But how many have been double touched?
Have you ever double touched your rock?
Can't say that I have.
I don't want to say yes, but you could have a few where the finger drags.
If I did it, it's probably not helping, I'd probably make it drastically worse.
A lesser-known rule pushing curling into the headlines earlier this week. It states any touching of the stone after delivery between the tee line and opposite hog line results in the removal of the rock from play. At the Olympics in Italy, Canadian third Mark Kennedy accused by Team Sweden of poking a stone after it was delivered. The controversy continuing after Canada's Rachel Homan and Britain's Bobby Lammy each had stones removed from play for violations.
I'm sure when you're in the zone and you're throwing like that, you don't. I mean, if I think I throw something well, I don't pay any attention to what my hand's doing. I'm sure I've grazed granite before.
Your hand comes off really gently, sometimes aggressively, so it's always possible.
2012 Scotties champion and current University of Alberta coach Jessica Admonson says most curlers aren't focused on grazing rocks after delivery.
It's not even a discussion for us. I think it could have been an accident, it could have been, I don't know, but it's not something we even think about.
Curlers agree, however, the story has been good for the sport.
Maybe it doesn't look the best for Canada, but it's bringing a ton of attention to the sport, and I think it's making people excited and interested.
That's certainly given curling a center stage position, which is kind of fun to see.
It's nice. Everyone's talking about curling, so I love seeing the memes too. I think it's hilarious. So, no, we really enjoyed it.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
The morale's high, even though the temperatures are low.
After signing up for 57 hours of rooftop camping, 5 Edmonton firefighters needed something to do to pass the time besides downing donuts.
Like a little, they say cops like donuts.
And getting some sleep.
Welcome to Mike's Mansion.
So the guys got creative.
Tippy-tappy, tippy-tappy, oi, oi, oi! Tippy-tappy, tippy-tappy, oi, oi, oi!
Tippy Tap is like God here. It rules all of our decisions.
Essentially hand hacky sack.
Oh, big one.
The first one to drop this homemade ball 3 times.
What's that ball made of? Ready? Tape. Duct tape. Well, just and a sock, I think.
Is stuck doing chores.
Change the garbages or wake up early for an interview or whatever the chore might be.
Did you lose Tippy Tap? Is that why you're...
You know what? This one I volunteered for, but I've definitely lost my fair share of Tippy Tap.
While they bounce the ball around, they're also bouncing ideas off one another for their next video.
Some good, some not so good.
In the lead up to this fundraiser for muscular dystrophy, each fire station created countdown videos.
The fire crews get really involved with it, and it really helps us gain traction for the event.
You may recognize some from sitcoms.
Parkour! Station 10 recreated the parkour scene from The Office, all in hazmat suits. That was hilarious.
Extreme!
Parkour! Parkour!
Others are based on movies.
I was in the Station 19 video where we recreate the driving scene from Step Brothers. I was the son in the back seat.
He's got eyes of the bluest sky.
Do you have the pipes to pull off the sun in the back seat?
I hate to look into those eyes.
Absolutely not. We completely lip sang that, obviously.
But one based on a Miley Cyrus song really brought the house down.
I have to say I have to go with the fellas back at Station 1.
It's raining men.
The Wrecking Ball video.
I came in like a rainbow.
That caught everyone off guard, completely out of left field.
You can find your favorite and donate to the cause by visiting their Instagram. Just search EDM Fire Muscular Dystrophy. Matt Woodman, CTV News, Edmonton.
700.
700.
Yeah.
700.
They meet for burgers and beers, then roll up their sleeves. The group calls itself Blood Burgers and Beers, but it didn't start that way.
When I got into Chrysler's, they offered a program where they would cover us to go donate blood. And so I started donating on my own to go, hey, let's donate together. So we started donating together. We slowly recruited new people, and that's how it started.
Back then, working midnights, they called themselves Blood and Breakfast. Even as shifts changed, clinics closed, and donations took them on the road to Chatham and Kingsville, they kept showing up.
We've been doing it for almost 30 years, which is crazy. I never would have thought it. And it's a good time to socialize and catch up with the guys.
What began as co-workers has become family.
It's just the friendship, right? Like, you build this up over all these years. This is family for us because we spend so much time together working in the factory.
There's even a little incentive for first-timers.
To get a new guy in, they got to know that when they come for the first time, they are paying for the lunch. So we know they'll come back for their free lunch.
But beyond the laughs, the impact is serious.
So just at the end of January, that last cold spell, we lost 1,500 donations across the country. So the need is constant.
Canadian Blood Services says winter disruptions can quickly shrink supply, making dedicated groups like this one especially valuable.
It's fantastic. We appreciate support from groups like that. And I think it's a great way to give back to your community and have a little fun while you're doing it.
And the guys aren't done yet.
Well, I'm looking forward to 1,000. I want to hang in there to 1,000.
1,000 donations, 7 or 8 more years, plenty more burgers and beer, and a lot more lives helped along the way.
The group donates every 8 weeks and says they're always looking for new members as long as they're willing to buy lunch for the first time. You can find upcoming donation clinics and book an appointment through the Canadian Blood Services website. Stephanie?
Heartfelt. Okay, Chris Campbell, love this. Thank you so much.
Over the years, we've been hearing from families concerned about the rising cost of hockey sticks. They can cost $200, $300, and even $400 or more. One hockey dad who was tired of replacing them found a way to fix them.
Brody. Back for Nylander, shoots it.
When one of the Toronto Maple Leafs breaks a stick, they skate to the bench to get a new one. Sticks often self-destruct at the wrong time, and when it happens in recreational and minor hockey games, they're expensive to replace. Where do sticks typically break?
Well, honestly, they're
everywhere.
Everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere.
Rod Daigle of Mississauga has 2 sons in AAA hockey. Like many parents, he was getting frustrated with his growing stick budget.
When a stick costs anywhere from $380 to $450, and you need to have 3 or 4 in a season, that adds up.
Most composite hockey sticks only come with a 30-day warranty. Daigle says it seemed like many would break not long after the warranty expired, so he devised a way to repair them.
I received this goalie stick yesterday, asked to be repaired. You see the shaft is snapped here, so that should be a pretty straightforward repair.
Daigle says shafts are easier to fix than blades, and sometimes it's better to fuse 2 broken sticks together to create a new one, something he calls a Frankenstick.
Rather than, toss them in the landfill, I'm actually able to make new sticks that are affordable and usable and nearly as light as the original.
He started out helping his sons, but now has a small business, Stick Medic, repairing sticks, often for recreational players. He has his own method using resin, composite fibers, and a steady hand. He charges about $80 for a repair and says he guarantees it won't break in the same place.
Families are getting tired of the breakage and short lifespan of these highly expensive sticks.
Daigle is not sure how big his business will grow, but says it's good to let players know they have options. So if you have an expensive broken stick, you may be able to repair it and get it back in the game.
There are other companies that are now repairing hockey sticks. You can also buy refurbished sticks. They sell for about 30% of the cost of a new one. Most come with a 30-day warranty and could save you money. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
Extra crispy, cheese on it, works. Sauce on the side, please.
It's unlikely you'll find anyone who loves Donairs more than this guy. It's why they call him the Donair Beast.
I love Donairs. I eat them all the time. And I think Donairs should have a world platform. You got to add some sauce. Lots of sauce. Don't be scared.
He's had about 5,000 Donairs in his lifetime and has made it his mission to get even the toughest food critics on the Donair train.
They are what's known as a wet sandwich. I know it doesn't sound the most, the best, but they are actually delicious. There's nothing better than a Donair at 2 a.m. After you've had a couple beers, especially in Dartmouth or Halifax.
He wants the world to know about Halifax's iconic dish, starring in his own Donair documentary set to be released next year.
What people can expect with this documentary is absolute everything you need to know about a Donair. The story, where it came from, who made it, who taught people how to make it. Thank you so much.
In the meantime, he's keeping the spotlight here at home, where a Donair Fest in downtown Dartmouth will bring 4 popular Donair spots under one roof.
They're going to compete for #1 spot in the world. Best Donair ever. We got King of Donair. We got Tony's, world famous pizza and Donairs. We got Ravanna's Pizza, and we got Sassy's Pizza. They're all going head to head Saturday, February 28th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Absolutely delicious, like nothing else you've ever smelled in your life. We need to get this out to the world. I think the whole world should know what a Donair is and should taste the Donair and make their own Donair.
And hopefully love it almost as much as he does. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Dartmouth.
During the Thursday lunch rush, waitress Kendra Menard stops to take a moment to thank her regulars in between plates of food. It's a job she's known for nearly a quarter of a century.
It's been great. It's my whole life.
On March 8th, Menard will serve her last table at the Oakwood Cafe. The South Osborne Institution has welcomed hungry diners for more than 3 decades. She joined the restaurant in 2002. In the years since, she's watched first dates turn into weddings and babies grow into young adults.
It's the people. The people are what makes it special, hands down.
But that will soon change. Owner Wendy May took over the Oakwood in 2016. May says she thought she would have to close the neighborhood joint as early as a year ago, citing rising food costs. She says by cutting back on spending, the best they were doing on a good day was breaking even.
When things change, that puts even more pressure on your bottom line. It's not even about making a profit. A lot of times it's about breaking even and not losing money.
We're not going to make any money because the overhead and the cost is all going up, and we can't possibly charge $25 for a sandwich. That's crazy.
Prep cook Rob Armstrong says he doesn't fault May for cutting her losses. They're not the only restaurant feeling the pinch. At Silver Heights Restaurant, owner Tony Sawicki says the ribs he buys for his customers have risen to $30 a pound, up from $17 a pound 6 years ago. He says it's a balancing act.
Every time the prices go up, we have to sit there and say, how much can we push on to the customer before we scare those customers away?
The Manitoba Restaurant and Food Services Association says nationwide, one university survey found 7,000 independent restaurants closed last year, and another 4,000 could close in 2026. Back at the Oakwood, Wendy May says running the cafe has been an amazing ride.
I hope someone comes and gives it the TLC that the Oakwood's been able to do, and same thing can be a little nugget in this community, which is fantastic.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Over 30 snowmobiles were parked in front of the school with students in grades 7 to 11 eager to get on the trails.
Safety for our students comes first for us as educators. Just knowing the rules, sometimes they're not trying to break the rules, they just are not aware of some of the rules.
Yesterday, students were in class learning snowmobile safety, and this morning they put their new knowledge to work.
You want to start young, and if you look behind us here, there's all sorts of generations of snowmobiles out here, so they're passionate about the sport, and they want to get out there, and it's important to foster that safe aspect of it when they're young, and that spreads.
I learned some of the hand signals I forgot, so it was good to know them again yesterday.
And yeah, I learned that if you fall into the water, it's good to wet your gloves and then stick them in the ice and then freeze them there so that you stay up above the water.
Sauvé said this program helps to foster students' relationships to reduce fear of police on the trails.
I feel like it's very important to ensure that our students and that we're proactive in providing safe trail education to them, and using these community partners to provide such an opportunity is a fantastic way to spend a day.
We want to foster that community relationship with the kids. So if they see us on the trails, they want to stop and they want to talk to us and tell us what's going on.
Confederation Secondary School was a part of the in-classroom learning, and they'll have their time on the trails in March. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Lively.
In Montreal West, these girls are gearing up for practice with a little help from mom and dad. Like many 7- and 8-year-olds, they've got opinions on what they want.
I was on a boys and girls team, and it's like, yeah, so I kind of just wanted to be on an all-girls team.
And across the province, there are more female squads than ever. Since the last Olympics, there are 3,000 more girls in Quebec playing hockey, and the number of teams has doubled. Hockey Quebec says it's thanks in part to the PWHL, but the Winter Olympic years provide an even bigger bump in registrations. And unlike the men's side, where there are no Quebecers on the team, 2 of the most prominent players are from here.
What we hear a lot is that there's not a lot, and which is true, there's not a lot of players from Quebec, and it's been a same thing, same kind of subject going on the boys and the men's side. But of course, the 2 difference maker on the team are from our province.
And these girls have taken notice.
I really like Marie-Philippe Poulin. I like Henri Debian.
But with the rising popularity comes challenges. Hockey Quebec says there simply aren't enough rinks to keep up with demand, meaning often girls are forced to play and practice at odd hours.
It's hard to get those ice times, so that's a huge problem. That's probably one of the biggest right now.
But despite that, these players take pride in being on an all-girls team, especially in a recent tournament where they beat the boys.
I think the dads were pretty mad that the boys got crushed by the girls. I just love hockey. I love working hard in practices, and then when we get to games, the hard work pays off.
And with Team Canada back in the spotlight, it's likely these girls could soon have even more teammates. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
Calgary Flames players helped celebrate a major literacy milestone at a Southeast Calgary school. Students at Holy Trinity School in Southeast Calgary cheered on Flames players Zane Parek and Zach Whitecloud. They and the Educational Partnership Foundation marked 30 years of its Reading Give It a Shot program to enhance literacy. Students had a chance to grill the 2 defensemen about everything from what's it like to be an NHL star to how many games they've won this year. All students at the school will receive free books and collector cards designed to encourage daily reading and to build their literacy skills.
When I was growing up as a kid, we didn't really have programs like this where I grew up. So getting to be a part of, something like this, come and do these events is exciting for me. And obviously being a kid that grew up in Western Canada and having reading programs, but nothing quite like this to relate to a pro hockey team is really cool for the Flames and for the community, and I think for these kids as well.
Organizers say more than 1 million students across Alberta have taken part in that program since it launched 3 decades ago.
But it is old, and it is a house that's layered with memories.
Cambridge's McDougall Cottage is historic in its own right, but inside these walls is a new exhibit showcasing the city's history.
Our community's changing so much, the world's changing so much, and this seemed like a really good opportunity for people to reminisce and reconnect.
Dubbed Snapshots in Time, Nostalgia and Memory, featuring schools, businesses and gathering places. And the community helped decide what made it into the exhibit.
Which was a survey which asked the public to kind of think about remembrances and nostalgic memories that they had of various locations.
We know that it was a beloved place in Cambridge for years and years and years.
One of the places is the Naughty Pine.
Naughty Pine came up, and it was just a beloved restaurant that spanned the whole time frame of our periods, which is 40s all the way up to the late 90s.
From the Naughty Pine to the Galt Gardens Arena and even the drive-in, people wrote in with some of their favorite memories from each location.
We had voice actors essentially read those, and we created soundtracks for each portal.
When I was young, it was the Hornets, and as I got older, it was the Winterhawks.
When it comes to which residents contributed the most,
I think people from Hespeler tend to be extremely nostalgic.
Making the exhibit didn't come without some challenges, considering it's enclosed within a 168-year-old cottage.
I mean, McDougall Cottage is a historic site, so you can't really alter it. It's protected, and there's conservation concepts about it, so you can't be too intrusive.
They had to be creative with wiring and changes to certain rooms. Here's one unique way they managed to display a database on key locations.
An 80s asteroids video game, which everybody seems to remember, but it's a good way for patrons to they want to investigate these locations.
The exhibit opens on Friday and runs until mid-December 2027. Spencer Turcott, CTV News, Cambridge.
When Jacob Hageman began walking up this hill, his feet were small, but his dreams were big.
As a kid, you just want to see what you can do with the shovel and move dirt.
The then 5-year-old wondered if he could move enough dirt, perhaps he could move in to the cave that remained.
It wasn't just like decorating my room, it was actually I could physically create and make a space.
So every day in the summer, Jacob would dig a little bit. Despite every winter, finding the cave would collapse a lot.
That dream just never really died. It existed in my head, and it was just something that I had to tackle.
So Jacob kept digging for a decade, until he was 15, and his dad, impressed with his determination, surprised his son with a visit from an excavator.
It's unbelievable. I thought that looks a lot bigger than my shovel.
After completing what would have been a whole summer's worth of digging with just one scoop, a sturdy structure was buried inside the hole, and after watching the Lord of the Rings movies, Jacob was inspired to create a space that looked like a hobbit's home.
That gave me a vision and a beauty to go, hey, my pit looks ugly. What can I do to make it?
Over the next 13 years, Jacob taught himself all the skills he'd need to transform his hole in the hill into an underground home.
You know, like Disneyland, you look around and it's visually immersive, and it's a little escape from the world.
It features a wood-burning fireplace that illuminates tile on the floor, a chandelier on the ceiling, and in between, a pantry to store sustenance, a bookshelf to cultivate knowledge, and handmade chairs to welcome company.
It is a satisfying feeling to now have a space to go, and I have friends over, and we have food and drink and good times.
And all year round, Jacob can feel grateful that a boy with unbridled imagination, thanks to unending determination and unexpected generosity, grew up to be a man who made his dream come true. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Chilliwack.